There are some things in life you cannot chase. You cannot rush the sunrise. You cannot pull the tide in faster. And you cannot force the hand of God when it comes to the people he has ordained to walk alongside you. There's a weight to loneliness, isn't there? A heaviness in the silence of nights spent wondering, is there someone out there who can carry my heart without dropping it? And in that quiet place, the enemy whispers, maybe you're too much. Maybe you're not enough. Maybe you missed your moment. But I came to tell you something today, not from a textbook, not from theory, but from the well of lived truth. God is not in a rush, and he is not late. You see, when God pairs you, he doesn't just look at your wants. He looks at your calling. He doesn't just send you someone to dance with at the party of life. He sends you someone who will fight with you in the trenches of destiny. And the waiting is never wasted. It is the sacred classroom where he chisels your character, tempers your desires, and stretches your faith, so that when the right partner stands before you, you won't sabotage the blessing you've been begging for. There's a battle happening underneath the surface of your dreams, between impatience and preparation, between fear and faith, between desperation and discernment. And if you dare to lean into that tension, you will find that God has been writing a love story deeper than your wildest prayers. A story where two warriors don't complete each other, but sharpen each other. Today, we're going to walk through the soul work, the heartbreak, the healing, and the divine alignment that happens when you stop chasing and start becoming. Because when you understand how God pairs you, you'll realize it's never been about finding the right person. It's always been about becoming the right one. Are you ready to go deeper? There is a moment in every life where loneliness howls so loud that settling seems like survival. When the nights get long and the heart gets weary, even a counterfeit comfort can feel like a blessing. But hear me, God's pairing is not born from your loneliness. It is born from your purpose. He is not just sending someone to love your body or entertain your mind. He is sending someone who will recognize the fire in your bones and say, I'm here to fan it, not extinguish it. Picture it, a blacksmith hammering hot iron. The iron alone is shapeless, full of potential, but without form. But when the hammer meets the fire, transformation happens. When God pairs you, he doesn't just pair two people. He pairs two fires meant to forge something eternal. He doesn't send you someone to complete you. You're already complete in him. He sends you someone who complements the calling he placed within you, someone whose life mission rhymes with yours, even if the melody is different. Some of you have been praying for a partner when God is asking, have you discovered your purpose yet? Because the right partner is not assigned to your loneliness. They are assigned to your assignment. You are not just marrying a person, you are marrying their purpose, their prayers, their pain, their patterns. And in the absence of purpose, people often attach to pleasure. They mistake chemistry for covenant and end up yoked to someone who was only meant to be a chapter, not the co-author. I've seen it. I've lived it. The heartbreak that comes from choosing based on attraction instead of alignment. The silent wars you fight when you realize you're walking north and they're pulling south. The quiet resentment that builds when dreams die slowly under the weight of misalignment. But when God chooses, it's different. When God aligns, there is a peace that doesn't panic, a connection that doesn't compete, a love that doesn't dilute your destiny but demands it. You start building together, not breaking each other apart. Purpose will recognize purpose. Calling will recognize calling. Spirit will recognize spirit. You won't have to beg them to understand your vision. You won't have to shrink yourself to fit inside their insecurity because they were built to run beside you. Somebody needs to hear this. Stop asking God for someone to ease your loneliness. Start asking him to send someone who will steward your purpose. Because when you see partnership through the lens of purpose, you stop settling for people who look good on paper but feel wrong in the spirit. You stop choosing out of fear and start discerning with faith. And when the right one comes, you'll realize they don't complete you. They align with the complete you that God has been fashioning in the secret place all along, a long-distant journey. You guys have been waiting for a spouse. You are making room for a destiny partner. One who hears heaven when they hear your name. One who doesn't just want your time, but your testimony. One who doesn't just admire your strength, but tends to your soul. And when God sends them, you'll know, because you won't just feel love, you feel your purpose rising from the ashes, ready to run. There's a certain ache that comes when you feel like you're ready, but the door still won't open. It's the tension between God, I trust you, and God, I'm tired. The world will tell you to chase faster, to settle sooner, to numb the ache by grabbing the nearest thing. But heaven has a different rhythm. Heaven's pace is preparation. Heaven's timing is protection. If you could see the battles God is blocking, you would praise him even for the loneliness. If you could see the hidden wounds you would have inherited from someone not assigned to your spirit, you would thank him for every unanswered prayer. Because in the silence and the seeming slowness, he is crafting something in you that the wrong relationship would have crushed. Preparation is not punishment. It is preservation. Same motivation for a single one. He said, why can't you be king? Now I have the talent of life and death. So do my 5 sons and a wife. When David was anointed king, he didn't step onto the throne the next day. He went back to the pasture, still tending sheep, lions and bears in secret while carrying a promise nobody else could see. God did not deny him. He developed him. Because an unprepared king would have crumbled under the crown, and an unprepared heart will crumble under the weight of a real covenant. God is not just preparing a partner for you. He's preparing you for the kind of love you've been praying for, because real love isn't soft and easy. It's holy and heavy, heavy when you look inside. It requires maturity, patience, forgiveness. The kind of resilience that doesn't flinch when the storms come. The kind of character that chooses to love on the days when feelings falter. The kind of wisdom that knows love isn't a feeling you fall into. It's a covenant you fight for. Some of you are frustrated because you keep asking God for a partner, but he keeps giving you mirrors. Situations that force you to confront your impatience. Moments that reveal the parts of you still stitched together with insecurity. Seasons that make you dig up the roots of fear you thought you buried. You think you're being delayed, but you're actually being defended, because an unhealed heart turns a blessing into a burden. And the very person God sends to elevate your purpose could become the casualty of your unprocessed pain if you are not prepared to steward them well. This is why God is allowing the loneliness. This is why he is stretching your patience. This is why the door hasn't opened yet. Because he loves you too much to let you arrive unready. He is training your hands for battle and your heart for covenant. He is shaping you into someone who can keep what you've been praying for. So don't despise the pasture. Don't curse the silence. Don't waste the preparation. Learn the lessons. Heal the wounds. Build the disciplines. Tend the dreams. Sharpen the discernment. Because when the moment comes, when destiny knocks and partnership calls, you won't just be someone waiting to be loved. You'll be someone ready to love with power, purpose, and pure. And you look back and realize the waiting wasn't a delay, it was divine protection. Somewhere deep inside, you already know this. You attract what you believe you deserve, not what you pray for, not what you post about, but what your soul believes when the lights are off and the mirror tells no lies. In brokenness, no matter how well you dress it up, has a scent. It pulls toward it people, patterns, and pain that echo its own fractures. When you are bleeding internally, you will call your hemorrhage love if someone simply hands you a bandage. You'll cling to chaos and call it chemistry. You'll mistake validation for value. You'll celebrate attention, starving while thinking you are being fed. And yet your spirit will know this is not it. Wholeness is different. Wholeness is not perfection, it's ownership. It's standing in the fullness of who you are. Cracks, scars, history, and all, and saying, I am not looking for someone to fix me. I am looking for someone worthy of the healed, powerful, purposeful me. God's best is attracted to the parts of you that are rooted, not the parts of you that are desperate. God's best sees a soul that doesn't need to be rescued, but can co-labor in kingdom building. God's best is not intimidated by your strength, nor tempted by your weakness. God's best speaks the language of destiny, and destiny doesn't speak in desperation. I've seen it time and time again, women and men who beg God for a partner, and the moment someone gives them attention, they lay down their standards like a doormat. They trade the oil of their anointing for the approval of someone who can't even spell covenant. They shrink their dreams so they can fit inside someone else's comfort zone. But that's not what you are made for. That's not why God set you apart. You have to heal first. You have to become the person you want to walk with. You have to sit alone long enough to know that alone doesn't mean abandoned. It means available for alignment. And when you become whole, something shifts in the spirit. Your no becomes sharper. Your yes becomes wise. Your vision becomes clearer. You stop praying for someone to make you feel loved and start partnering with God to protect the love He already placed inside of you. Wholeness is magnetic to heaven's finest. Wholeness causes you to walk into a room and not need to audition for affection. It makes you choose differently, speak differently, wait differently. Somebody needs to hear this today. Healing is not optional if you want God's best. You cannot drag yesterday's baggage into tomorrow's blessing. You cannot tether your future to the ruins of your past and call it faith. So do the work, cry the tears, tear down the idols, get therapy, seek God, face yourself, because the person God has for you, they're not looking for perfection. They're looking for someone who's brave enough to be whole. And when that kind of wholeness meets destiny, love won't feel like striving. It will feel like breathing. There's a danger in desperation. It makes anything look like destiny. It clouds your eyes and numbs your intuition. It rushes you into rooms God never authorized and connects you to people He never sent. Desperation is loud, frantic, hungry. It says, I'll take anything as long as it fills the silence. But discernment is different. Discernment is quiet strength. It waits, it watches, it listens to what eyes cannot see and ears cannot hear. Discernment is the difference between someone who looks good and someone who is good for you. It's the difference between fleeting affection and covenant protection. Discernment will stop you mid-sentence, mid-chemistry, mid-flutter in your chest, and whisper, "Not this one." You see, the enemy knows he can't steal your purpose, but he'll try to pair you wrong so you forfeit it yourself. He'll send distractions that smile sweetly. He'll send chaos wrapped in charm. He'll send almost right dressed up like God's best. And if you're desperate, you'll trade your birthright for a bowl of feelings. But discernment sees past the Instagram post, past the flattery, past the sweet nothings. Discernment peers into the spirit and asks, what are they carrying? Where are they going? What is attached to their life that will touch mine? Because whoever you marry their patterns, you marry their wounds, you marry their worship or their war. Desperation says, I don't want to be alone. Discernment says, I would rather be alone than be wrongly aligned. Desperation says, at least they chose me. Discernment says, God, I choose your timing over my craving. There are doors that look like destiny, but lead to devastation. There are hands that feel warm, but will wound you in the end. And if you are not anchored in discernment, you will think love is supposed to hurt, that peace is boring, that chaos is passion. But real love, real covenant love brings clarity, not confusion. It brings growth, not regression. It brings peace even in the midst of stretching. You must pray not just for love, but for sight, eyes that see spirit, not just smiles, ears that hear truth, not just empty promises, a heart tuned to heaven's frequency, not the static of your loneliness. Because when you see with discernment, you'll realize not every opportunity is an open door from God. Not every compliment is confirmation. Not every connection is covenant. Discernment will make you walk away from good-looking graves and wait for the living thing God is growing for you. Discernment will cost you temporary affection, but it will preserve your eternal assignment. Discernment will make you lonely for a season, but safe for a lifetime. Choose discernment over desperation. Choose destiny over dopamine. Choose patience over panic, because when you see rightly, you will choose rightly. And the right choice, the one heaven designed for you, it will never require you to betray yourself to keep it. Delay has a way of making you question yourself, question your worth, question God. When the wait stretches long and your heart grows heavy, it's easy to believe the lie that says, maybe I missed it. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe God forgot me. But hear me, divine delay is not divine denial. Heaven is not ignoring you. Heaven is orchestrating something far bigger than you can see. Sometimes what feels like punishment is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like abandonment is really alignment, because God is too intentional to bless you prematurely, too wise to release you into a promise before your character has the capacity to hold it. He is not just preparing your blessing, he's preparing you to sustain it. Imagine a tree planted by the water, its roots digging deep into unseen soil. On the surface, it looks like nothing is happening. No branches, no fruit, no evidence of life. But underneath, a system of strength is being built. Roots that will anchor the tree against the fiercest storms. And when the time is right, when the roots are ready, the branches will burst forth, not easily shaken, not quickly broken. You are that tree. God is strengthening your unseen places, building patience where you wanted shortcuts, building trust where you demanded control, building resilience where you relied on convenience. Because the love you are called to carry will require roots. The partnership you are praying for will need depth, not just height. If he gave it to you too soon, it would crush you. If he gave it to you too easily, you would mishandle it. Delay is strategic, delay is surgical, delay is sacred. It's God ensuring that the right version of you meets the right version of them at the right time. I know you feel ready. I know your heart aches to be seen, chosen, loved in the way your soul dreams about. But sometimes the ache is not proof that you are behind schedule. It's proof that your spirit knows something holy is being prepared for you, and it's worth the wait. You have to trust that God's not yet is just as holy as his yes. You have to believe that he is not dangling blessings over your head, but weaving miracles under your feet. You have to understand that the delays are digging the wells from which your future family, your future delay matures you, delay filters out the counterfeits, delay teaches you to worship with empty hands. And when you can worship without the blessing, you are ready to steward it with clean hands and a pure heart. The clock is not your enemy. The calendar is not your competition. Your timeline is held inside a God who sits outside of time, and he is never late. He is always working while you are waiting, so don't just endure the delay, embrace it. Don't just tolerate the process, trust it. Because when it finally comes, when the door swings wide and the right hand clasps yours, you will know. The wait wasn't a waste. It was the womb of your next miracle. The world has reduced partnership to pictures and cute matching outfits, vacation selfies, public proposals with hidden cracks. But heaven has a different blueprint. Partnership in the eyes of God is not a performance. It is a ministry. When God pairs you, he doesn't just think about your feelings, he thinks about your future, your calling, your assignment. He's not just answering your loneliness, he's fortifying his kingdom. The partner he sends will not just hold your hand, they will hold your vision. They will not just kiss your forehead, they will cover your spirit. They will not just say they love you, they will labor beside you when the weight of your calling gets heavy. Marriage is not just romance, it's warfare. It's two soldiers choosing to fight back to back, not against each other, but against everything that tries to invade what God ordained. It's intercession when the enemy attacks. It's encouragement when the dreams get heavy. It's accountability when you feel like giving up. If you think partnership is just about butterflies and fireworks, you will walk away the first time the battlefield gets bloody. One of you will yearn the loss for the other. One of you will walk away the first child. Begins wondering why it doesn't feel like the highlight reels you've seen online. But covenant doesn't just feel good, it does good. It heals, it multiplies, it breaks generational curses, it births destinies. That's why the enemy attacks kingdom partnerships so ferociously, because he knows when two people come into true agreement under heaven, mountains move, purposes are unlocked, communities are changed, legacies are built. God doesn't pair you based on your preferences. He pairs you based on his purposes. You're asking for tall, dark, and handsome. He's sending faithful, focused, and fierce in the spirit. You're praying for fine. He's preparing someone forged by fire. Because looks will fade, feelings will shift, but purpose remains. And purpose will outlast every storm. You don't need someone who just looks good standing next to you. You need someone who can stand with you when the world shakes. Someone who hears from God when you forget how to listen. Someone who reminds you of your anointing when your insecurity tries to drown it out. Someone who isn't intimidated by your strength nor disgusted by your scars. Love is beautiful, yes. Romance is wonderful, yes. But neither are enough without mission. When God pairs you, it's not just for comfort, it's for conquest. It's so that together your lives scream something about the power of his redemption. It's so that your love story becomes a weapon against hopelessness. It's so that your unity gives hell a headache and heaven a reason to rejoice. So when you pray for a partner, don't just ask for someone to take pictures with. Ask for someone to build altars with. Ask for someone who will stay on their knees with you when the world tries to knock you down. Ask for someone who knows how to wage war in prayer, not just whisper sweet nothings in comfort. Partnership is ministry. Partnership is mission. Partnership is the sharpening of iron against iron until both of you gleam with the glory of a God who does all things well. So when God pairs you, it won't just feel good, it will do good. It will bear fruit. It will shift atmospheres. It will change lives, including your own. Maybe you thought God had forgotten you. Maybe you thought you were too broken, too late, too complicated, too much. Maybe you've been staring at the calendar wondering why the promises seem delayed, why the prayers seem unanswered, why the loneliness feels louder than your faith. But what if I told you, you are not being punished, you are being positioned. God has not overlooked you. He has been hiding you, shielding you, sanctifying you so that when the right one steps into your life, they don't meet a fraction of you, they meet the fullness of who God called you to be. Because what God joins together must first be healed separately. The fire you're walking through right now is not to destroy you, it's to forge you. The silence you're sitting in is not abandonment. It's an invitation to deeper intimacy with the one who holds your future in his hands. You see, God doesn't rush masterpieces. He doesn't hurry destiny. He carves it. He refines it. He breathes life into it until it pulses with purpose. And when he finally says now, when heaven aligns your path with the one who has been equally prepared, it won't be chaos. It won't be confusion. It won't be striving. It will be peace. It will be strength. It will be purpose colliding with purpose, setting the world on fire with the love of God. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to lose yourself to keep it. It will find you, fit you, fortify you, because it was formed for you. And so today I dare you. I dare you to wait well, to heal fiercely, to guard your hope like the precious treasure it is, to trust that the God who made the stars also made your story, and he is still writing it with hands that do not shake. The love you're waiting for, it's not just romance, it's a revelation. It's the unfolding of a divine narrative that your heart has been longing to live out. So don't settle for the counterfeit. Don't bow to impatience. Don't lose faith in the delay. Hold your head high, child of destiny, because when God pairs you, it won't just change your relationship status, it will change your life. And when that day comes, when your spirit recognizes the one he handcrafted just for you, you will weep. Not because you doubted, but because you will finally understand every no was protection. Every delay was preparation. Every lonely night was sacred ground. You will